my fellow little weirdos. This is finally the vlog. I finally get to sit down and talk to you guys about my first trip to Japan. This is kind of crazy. But before I get into it, I'm going to talk about what to expect, what surprised me, and why I'm going back. The space next to me is going to be where I'm going to put pictures. So I'm going to try my best to break this thing down. And no, before you ask me, I'm not going to be like this is what you do and don't do when you're in Japan. It's not going to be like that. Not going to be like that. No. But I will tell you things I learned. I think that's very fair to do. But, すいません。こんばんは、皆さん。サイファシンです。よろしく。Hello and welcome. いらっしゃいませ. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I'm here to tell you about my travels thus far. And don't worry, there's definitely more to come. This space is going to be for all my pictures. So yeah, just buckle in and let's get ready to go. So, I really want to make this video because I feel like a lot of Japan travel content is either like romanticizing everything or skips over what it's actually like day to day. Since every experience is different, and of course I want to share mine, but in case you're planning a trip and you're just kind of curious on what Japan is kind of like, so this is what this video is for, and I hope you guys actually enjoy it. So, let's get into it. Day 1. So for days 1 through 3, we stayed at Conrad Tokyo. Very pricey, very expensive. My husband warned me, hey, babe, I dropped some major ducats on this. I said, oh, you know what? Work. Let's go. It's our first out of the country trip together. Let's do it. Very, very worth it. It's very expensive, but so worth it. Again, I'm going to put pictures up here just so you can appreciate the beauty with me, because that view was spectacular. 10 out of 10. We'll probably be going to that particular hotel again because it was just really great. It was one of those moments you just kind of like stop and stare, and after like a long international flight, having a comfortable, quiet place to just come back to at night made a really huge difference. It really helped with like the jet lag and overall exhaustion, which we're gonna get into jet lag and exhaustion. It was 13 hours there, not including the layover flight from Chicago. It was 13 hours straight there, and my guess is it's longer because we're going against like I want to say gravity, but that's not the real thing. But we're going against the horizon. On the way back, it was 11 hours because we're going with the horizon. You kind of get it, right? But our flight was about 13 hours out of Chicago. Very long, obviously, but honestly not that terrible. They feed you, they turn off the lights, they let you sleep. I know you're probably thinking, well, normal air flight, things. But thankfully, I stayed up the whole time before the flight so I could just crash out. So that was really fun. The service was great. The airline food is actually really good, and they really encourage you to get up and walk and move around because the aircraft was that big to where you can get up and walk if need be. They had little kits in your little cubby in front of you when they say, hey, look at the information about your plane. About your flight, about your plane, specifically so you can eyeball all the exits. In there, in that same little pamphlet, they have a separate one about if you're prone to blood clotting. These are the exercises that you do so you can massage your legs and everything. It was really nice, really informative, very well thought out and put together. It was really cool. Let's see. You're probably thinking cabin pressure, right? I get headaches really, really, really easily from anything. It could be just a temperature switching outside. It could be 30 one day, 60 the next. I'm comatose the whole day with a migraine. That's just my day-to-day life, and I am currently medicated for it. But I did get a really bad cabin pressure headache, so that part wasn't fun, and that was towards the end of the flight. But I took some Bufferin, which it's fantastic. That stuff was amazing. Had me right and ready in an hour before the flight ended. Shout out to that flight attendant that gave me the Bufferin. But it felt like a nice cold press to the back of your neck and for my brain. But once we landed, I was tired, and very much ready to explore, because like it was the afternoon. Like we got there in the afternoon. I'm giddy. I'm trying to go. We're here for 2 weeks, right? Okay. I did not expect public transportation in Tokyo. It is incredibly efficient. Anytime we had to go to a location, it was really easy, depending on, if they put the proper platform information, right? But that was the only little thing that me and my husband kind of endured when we were traveling, was, making sure, oh, they didn't put the right platform number on there, but that's okay. It was really easy just to Google map where you had to go. So, but it's incredibly like efficient, but it was really intimidating because you're looking up and you're seeing like a whole bunch of kana everywhere, and like maybe soromaji, and you're just overwhelmed. Like I was overwhelmed. Thankfully, my husband has been there 3 times, so I felt safe knowing, okay, he can figure it out. But a girlie was overwhelmed for her first time. I think my biggest piece of advice is travel with someone who's been there before. And I'm so grateful I had my husband with me. I knew I was in good hands. If I were doing this alone for my first time, I would have been way more stressed. But again, if you need to Google your locations of where you want to go, it is pretty decently easy just to navigate. But you just have to look really closely at which train stations are going where and which ones are looping around, if that makes sense. I learned what a Suica card is, which is super duper cute, because I think Suica is, watermelon, but it's a little penguin. It's a little penguin mascot. It was such a cool card, but that is also your lifeline when you have to take the train. It is a necessity, and honestly, it's really cool. You can use your Suica card for literally anything, and it was really, really cool. So, something I did not expect in Japan. We're gonna talk about walking, because there is so much walking. You're gonna walk a lot. Like insert the clip of DJ Khaled right here. I averaged about 20,000 steps a day. Your legs will hurt, your feet will hurt, and that's just a part of the experience. Now, what I learned is part of the issue that my feet like hurting was the kind of shoes I was wearing. And I'll talk about that at some point if I remember. I was a fool, and I switched out for some New Balances while we were there. Best thing to do in my whole life. It was great. Those New Balances. My heart. But after day 3, you kind of woke up with your legs feeling like tree stumps, and your whole your everything was sore. I'll talk about calves, the thighs to glutes. I was sore. I was out of it. But you just got up, stretched, drank some water, and you gotta keep it pushing. You just gotta get used to it. I think it's you gotta get used to it kind of pains. So that's the main thing of what that was. What also saved me as far as like exhaustion from walking, showering, soaking in a hot bath, and stretching. So do that combination the whole time, and you're probably gonna be fine. Tired, but very fine. One thing I really appreciate about Japan, though, that I notice is that everyone there is so, like, they just mind their business. Like, they just mind their business. They literally just mind their business. Everyone is on their way somewhere, work, school, or home, and you're just another face in the crowd. And honestly, I love that. Which, it really kind of, I guess not bothers me, but it's like kind of a sidebar, right? It's kind of a segue. I watched a lot of travel vloggers talk about their times in Japan, and you know they're black, and they talk about some experiences that they've had, some good, some bad, and I'm happy to say that my experience was a pleasant one. I even got called cool, kakui. I got called cool. The clothes I had on spoke a lot. I got some double takes, like pleasant double takes from the outfits I wore. I had a very pleasant experience. I never felt like I was unwanted, or I felt like I was not welcome there at all. I never had that feeling. And also, if you go there having that feeling, that makes the trip a lot worse for you. So I'll just say this: go there with the experience or with the mindset of, I'm going to enjoy this experience the best that I can. This is a whole different culture, and I'm going to go there and appreciate it. And I mean, I saw some amazing people, met some amazing people, got some great friends I collected on my line, and I am honestly so grateful that I got to visit. But sidebar over. I just want to kind of get that out the way, that this is not a don't visit Japan because they're. I'm tired of hearing it, for real. Like I don't want to go somewhere assuming that my color gonna be a problem. You know, I like going there spreading smiles and giggles. That's just me. And I got smiles, I got laughs, I got like some really positive experiences from Japan. And I visited a lot of Japan, quite a bit, and there's quite a bit more I have to go visit again. So, but anyway, segue over. I'm so sorry. Kindness and consideration goes a long way. If which you would think it's so simple. It could all be so simple. But if you're sitting and you see an older person standing, because they on the public transit they have like a priority seating section for those who are elderly, infirm, you know, whatever, and then you have the regular public seating. If you see an older person coming on and you're seated, you're younger, be kind and offer your seat. Which I got a couple stares when I did this. I saw this older lady come on, and my husband was just about to motion for me, but he stood up. Well, no, I'm sorry. He was standing like off to the side. He was trying to get my attention, but I had already saw the older lady coming on, and I already was looking at the priority seat. I'm like, oh, I hope she finds a seat. And so I got up and I gave her my seat, and I got like a couple looks, but I think more like a nice. A foreigner who gets it, you know? But I mean, hey, that's someone's grandma. She probably don't want to stand. She probably just got done seeing some family. She don't want to stand, and she probably walked from Timbuktu to get to this train station because I was struggling. But yeah, you know, kindness and consideration goes a long way. Oh yeah, random but important. Trash cans are few far in between. I carry my trash with me. Have fun finding a trash can. Better, if you're gonna eat at 7-Eleven, throw it away in a 7-Eleven trash can. Eat it, stand there, eat it, throw it away. Because you're gonna be walking with it the whole day. So figure it out. Let's see, some noteworthy places I went to. First of all, we're gonna get the big one out the way, Akihabara. How was it? We're gonna insert a picture somewhere in here. I think only a certain group of people will understand this. I was severely overwhelmed when I saw Akihabara. There's so many bright lights, Vocaloid things, figurine shops everywhere, and I think I only got one picture of this one part of the street, like one part. And I promise you, the one picture everywhere looks like that. It's just differing and different color lights. I was so overwhelmed. I think me and my husband only went to one crane game place. We each walked out with something cool, and then we're like, hey, are you good? Because I'm good. And I felt like being there, I was going to have a stroke because it was overwhelming. But in the fun way. I'm sure if I went there with the idea of I'm gonna spend all this cash and get all these figurines, I'd probably be a lot better about it. But because I literally went there just to say, hey, I stepped foot in here, I just want to look around, I just want to peruse. It was overwhelming. It was overstimulating. There's too many bright lights and pretty colors. There's a lot going on. But was it cool? Yes. Highly recommend that you go. Akihabara was really cool to go visit. Super duper cool. But yeah, there's arcades, games, and cafes everywhere. We won a few cute prizes, and then I finally found out what a Don Quixote is. Which, again, I don't know what's up with Japan and penguins on things that aren't, like associated with that thing. Because Don Quixote is a Spanish novel, I'm pretty sure, but yet why is it a blue penguin? No clue why. The best thing I could kind of, like equate for Don Quixote is if Buc-ee's had anime merch. If Buc-ee's had Japanese snacks and all the anime merch you could think of, and all of the kinds of cutesy clothes and beauty products That is the best way I can describe Don Quixote. It's a maze. You make one turn, you're in beauty. Then you get to the next turn. Why are there neon lights and cool clothes? And how do you guys do inventory in here and not get confused on what goes where on what shelves? So it felt like if Buc-ee's snorted a little cocaine and did a little meth. That's what it feels like. You walk up in there, you don't know where the exit is. You walk 2 feet and now you can't figure out how to leave. I'm gonna insert some footage in here because God is my witness, I was not having it. I was so confused. I don't even know how to describe it. It was a cool experience. I didn't feel like buying anything because I'm like, bro. Well, first of all, I got quite a hike to get back to my hotel. So I'm like, okay, if I buy some, I gotta make it count. So it's like, man, if I buy it, I gotta carry it on the bus with me. And I wasn't trying to buy nothing because I have to carry it with me. But it's just anime Buc-ee's on crack, but in the best way possible, and you'll still feel overstimulated when you go up in there. That's about how I can describe Don Quixote. But yeah, no, there's food, beauty products, clothes, plushies, figures, all stacked on multiple floors, and it's overwhelming in the best and the worst way at the same time. You just have to really experience it. You have to experience it. Another place we went to was Ginza. It felt like going to California. You need to have money to exist here, which I'm just exaggerating. But it did feel very luxurious. Even the people felt more luxurious. Because when I was in Tokyo, people were in their business wear, and also we were also walking around while people were at work, and it was during the week. But you saw business people, you saw business owners, you saw a couple kids walking the street, right? You walk into Ginza, smooth, suave, elegant, like people were in their best dress. I'm like, I feel like I don't belong here, and I'm nicely dressed for the occasion. I felt like I didn't belong. Like, I don't fit the vibe. Take me back to Tokyo. I feel like I'm dressed down and they're dressed up here. But Ginza was really cool. Ginza was super duper cool. At night, it was really beautiful. The people there were so dressed up and the lights were gorgeous and everything just felt very polished and elegant. But I made the rookie mistake. So this is me coming back around to me saying about New Balances. I wore heeled boots. Why did I wear heeled boots, you may ask? I don't know. I did not properly think about my footwear. Now back to when I said I got New Balances. I bought my New Balances in Ginza. My ankles, what ankles? They didn't exist. My ankles were shot. Outfit slayed though. My outfit was very, very cute. Post picture here. But worth it. But we did end up shopping at a New Balance because survival came first, mind you. This is the first couple days there. My feet are already killing me. My ankles were non-existent. One trip over a rock and your girl was done for. I was ready to take those shoes off and walk the streets on my bare feet and feel more comfort. I was so ready, but I didn't do that. But would I visit Ginza again? Yes. Nakano. We visited Nakano. It was very short though. It was one of the most meaningful parts of the trip for me because it was a huge mall, but the upper levels were like full of vintage media toys, and I was really dead set on finding Johnny Sacco and the Flying Robot, or in Japan it's called a Giant Robo, from 1967 for my dad. I had no hope. None. Insert me looking very stressed here. There's a picture of me going through multiple malls with the same expression on my face. trying to find my dad a nice meaningful gift from his childhood. I eventually got it because your girl don't quit. But we found it. It was one of the last ones because the one was another one that had a different color scheme and it was broken. But we found the exact one from the movie and I was so happy. Insert a picture here. I was so proud. Oh my God, I was so happy. That moment alone made everything worth it. The walking, the pain, the nearly broken ankles. This one was for you, Pops. It's for you, Dad. If you're into vintage toys, medias, and collectibles, highly recommend Nakano. It felt like a blast from the past. I found a few Astro Boy porcelain figurines that I really wanted to buy, but for one, it felt too expensive, and for two, it had a long to connect, like, I had two connected flights on the way back. I would have been angry if my porcelain broke, you know? So I made it a goal to find Atomu or Astro Boy. That's what Astro Boy is called in Japanese. I made it my goal just to find him later at a different shop, and eventually I did. So that was really cool. Now, Asakusa and Sensoji were so peaceful. So there were shrines everywhere. The atmosphere was so much quieter. We left out at 4 a.m., like around 4 or 5 a.m., because the sun comes up really, really early in the morning. But the atmosphere was so much quieter. We got to see like Buddha statues, incense being lit, and people praying. I'm going to insert a picture of one of the places where people were going to pray. It was an older crowd. It felt calm, respectful, and deeply rooted in history. We weren't really early in the morning, so many of the shops around the area were closed, but that actually kind of made it better because it was less people, it was less congestion. When I go somewhere, I don't like feeling like a regular tourist. I like going where some of the locals go, and that was where some of the locals went. And I felt really, like, good. Like, it felt nice and cozy. But it was cool because the closed stalls of some of the stores, they all had murals, like connecting murals, and I'm gonna insert some pictures. And there were signs explaining different gods and spiritual beliefs. It was really cool seeing how, here in, America, we see different churches and different synagogues and different spiritual places every other street corner. I'm seeing shrines. And it was really interesting to see another culture's view of spirituality in a way, So it was really, really cool. If you go there, my only suggestion, and this is what I learned, this goes in my what I learned folder. I'm pretty sure I did a what I learned earlier, but this is what I learned from that experience. If you go, just remember to be quiet and be respectful. It's a beautiful experience if you approach it the right way. Now, we're gonna get into a really cool place I went to, and it's called Tokyo Tower. It was a lot, even getting there. Public transit, it felt like you were a bunch of weenies, like, packed in a container. A bunch of hot dogs in a container. It can get packed, like, squished together like sausages kind of packed. If you're not used to being that close to people, it can feel overwhelming, suffocating, and very claustrophobic. I'm not even gonna lie, my anxiety was up. But that said, the rides are very short. Everyone is just trying to get to where they're going. But then when you finally got there, it didn't even take that long. You're thinking, we're an hour away, but then you take 2 bus rides that are 30 minutes, or 3 bus rides are 15, and then you have, it's a 15-minute walk from here. It doesn't feel that long when you're sitting down, you're active, and you're moving the whole time, It's like time flies, and then at some point you're just teleporting. And that's what it felt like. I just felt like I was teleporting. So the tower itself was so worth it. I'm gonna put some pictures up here. Please put pictures of the experience. Past me. Please put these in here. Don't make me look stupid. Thank you very much. It had shops, food, museum spaces, and incredible views. It was really cool because I found out it was actually an old radio tower that was retired, and they showed old pictures of it being built. It was truly a museum piece, and I was so grateful to get to see it myself. I love radio stations. Me and my dad used to listen to the radio every single time we went on road trips. It was old music. I love radios. I love it. I like old technology too, like Radio Shack stores. I loved going to visit Radio Shacks. I love old technology. I love it. It's very cool, cozy. I love seeing how things have evolved over time with technology. So I love seeing it, and I love going back to pictures, seeing when radio towers were built. And it was such a treat to go visit Tokyo Tower. So after Tokyo Tower, I think I talked about Asakusa, we talked about Akihabara, we talked about Sensoji, we talked about Nakano. Then we visited Osaka, Nara, Mie, and Kyoto. In Nara, Mie, Osaka, and Kyoto, we visited a lot of personal friends of my husband. I'm going to insert some pictures I took in Kyoto. When we were in Osaka and Nara, we got to go see the bowing deer, so I'll put in pictures of me trying to feed the deer. It was mating season. I'm gonna say I hate men. The male deer specifically. Here's why. They were headbutting like people, trying to feed them little biscuits. So now some of them, they had thick horns and they were shaved down, right? Nah, no, no. Some of them had little pointy ears. Like ears, really? Pointy horns. If I could figure out the English language, that would be great. So some of them had really, really, really pointy horns. And when you're headbutting people, I let me break this down for you. I walk in, I'm looking around like, oh, the deer looks so cute. I see a sign. Beware of the male deer. It is mating season. They will bite, they will headbutt, and they will chase. I'm like, so one of our friends goes to buy biscuits, passes me a pack. I'm thinking, okay, I got that stuff on me. I gotta make it look like I don't. So I go around. I corner some of the female deer. They were so cute. Like, they're so cute. If my mom really said to me, Rita, why are you feeding the rat dogs? Look, hear me out. Hear me out. They were so cute, dude. They were so cute. The females were so cute. And I found some of the babies. They were so cute. They just felt like little dogs. They just fit like just little tiny dogs. But they licked my hand. I gave them a little biscuit. They were so cute. My husband was bold and fed the males. I was not taking my chances. I saw a poor girl get headbutted and dropped her phone. I was not going near the male deer. He can. I'm not. I'm going to all the women. And they're insert a picture of me running away. Right here. I was running. They were saying to open up your hand and show that you didn't have any food. Bruh. It was wild. It was wild. That was, I think, a really good point in Nara. That was really, really cool. Now, let's see. When it came to Mie, we visited some friends, and we got to kind of see different types of friends and their living, like their living arrangements. We got to stay with two different friends, and they had two different kinds of like styles of houses, so it was really cool getting to see like how they have their house arranged versus how this friend has their house arranged. I didn't get to take many pictures of Mie, but it was just really cool spending time with like some authentic Japanese friends. You're probably thinking, do you speak the language? No, my husband does, but I'll tell you one thing, I did pick up a few words, and thankfully okay, I'm not gonna say it's easy, right? Because it's a whole different language. It's not like me knowing Spanish and being able to pick up on conversation and context clues. But thankfully, because of how they were speaking, and they also made sure to include me in conversations, I didn't have to understand every single word to know the topic of what they're talking about, It's like, it felt like internally, I felt like I was getting context clues without like saying, nani? これですか? No, I didn't have to ask like what word are you speaking? I didn't have to ask for a translation. Now it was cute, everybody got out their Google Translate for me, but at some point I'm just like, I'm not even worried. I'm here to immerse myself so I can hear how you're speaking, so I can take it back home and focus on my studies more, so that when I come back, I can actually be able to speak to you and I can hold conversations with you. But it was nice to know that I couldn't speak it, but I did at least make attempts to try. I bought things and spoke in Japanese. It was cool going to different indie store owners that didn't commonly have too many foreign customers, and I remember seeing a thing on TikTok saying no foreigners allowed, but it was taken out of context because that just means like no English speakers, please, because we can't speak English. I went up in a store and I looked at their plethora of clothing. I picked that item. I said, "Ikura desu ka?" and they told me how much monies I give them, and I give them the yen, and I give them a polite bow. So arigato gozaimasu, and then I went ahead and went about my day. Shockingly, when you go there at least learning a few words, it goes a long way. On top of it, it makes, locals smile, But I think that's just for any language. If you go somewhere, going out of your way to learn the language and you speak it to them, it does something with the heart, speaking in the language of their heart. So, but that was really, really a nice experience. I think now I'll start getting into food. What do you expect when it comes to food? I think I should divulge a little bit because now I talked about where I went, and again, so this is my final travels. I went to Tokyo Tower, Asakusa, Sensoji, Akihabara, Nara, Mie. This is just my notes. Mie, Nakano, Ginza, Kyoto, and Osaka. So I think that's 4 different prefectures, but I think 10 different individual places I visited. No, I didn't get to go to Shinjuku or Harajuku. I kind of wish I would have had the chance to go to do that, but I did not. But I think now I'm gonna get into different foods. I tried donyaki. It is a specific kind of raw chicken. Hold on. I'm gonna go back for a second. Chicken. I have to remember that point when I come back to it. I'm gonna keep my finger on the screen so I don't forget it. I have a sensitive stomach. I am lactose intolerant. I have the most sensitive belly on the planet. Let me tell you, I could eat anything and probably be running to the bathroom later. If I didn't drink water, I'm having a bad day. My digestive tract is my op. It is my biggest fed. Let me tell you. My stomach is actively preying on my downfall, I think, every single day. I'm not having a good time when it comes to my stomach. When I tell you, I had every single type of food that you could think of, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. All I needed was just some water to go with it, keep walking, like actually sitting down, eating slow. I had soba, udon, donyaki, Kobe beef, wagyu. I had fugu, which is pufferfish, udon, soba. Udon is like a fatty noodle. Soba is a wheat noodle. It's particularly healthier for you. And they're made in like a rich broth. But udon, it's a fatty noodle. If you eat a lot of it, you get fat. Soba, it's healthier, so you can eat a lot of it and not be super bloated afterward. I tried different kinds of tempura. Super tasty. It's just fried foods. It was pretty great. Fugu was really good. I feel like if you are a person that likes calamari or octopus, I feel like it's in a similar boat, but not quite. But it is a very tasty experience. Of course, I had typical raw salmon, tuna. While we were in Mie, the people we stayed with, the husband was really cool, and he started making us sushi, and then the wife started offering us sake, wine, Japanese whiskey, type of pear drink, and I think beer. So they were very giving in that household. I was more than happy to be there. It's pretty great. Let's see, raw chicken, and it's a Saka specialty. I think it's like intestine. I forget which intestine of what animal, but it was in a rich broth. It is the strangest food probably to say. It's probably chew and really think of the flavor profile. But the Osaka specialty, which I'm so mad that I can't remember it right now, but I want to say it's intestine. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. But it was really super tasty. Let's see. Tempura, easy. If you like anything fried, it's not too far from like having fried food. Like in general, they just fry everything. They fry lotus vegetables. They fry cheese balls. They fry lots of stuff, and it's really tasty. And no, it did not hurt my stomach. I think I literally had some of everything, and my stomach was not upset. I think my top like favorite food that I could not stop eating is tonkatsu kare specifically. So it is Japanese curry, koko ichibanya. Their curry is so good. Where I bought two packs, two packs, one regular and one spicy, and I gotta learn how to make tonkatsu now. I Y'all, when I tell you that food was, oh, it was so good. Kare, specifically Japanese kare, oishi. It is delicious. It is some of the tastiest. You just felt warm and fuzzy, and you had your vegetables, you had your rice, and you had your pork cutlets. Oh, my heart. It was so good. It was so tasty. I think that was my favorite food. My favorite food. And I think that's about it. I think I covered food, I covered my travels, I covered social things. I think the only thing, if I can like wrap this up, is one key thing I learned. I am so grateful to have gone in with the idea of I'm just here to enjoy this experience. This is my first time going to Japan, and I'm going to make the most of it for 2 weeks straight. I'm going to make some friends, I'm going to make some positive moments, and we're going to see to it. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I don't feel like I got any weird looks. The people, they were really, really nice. Very, very polite. So yeah, I think that makes a difference, because it's so easy to look on social media and so easy to see only the negatives when you haven't experienced it yourself. And I'm here to tell you that when I went to Japan, I once never felt like I could not be in a room. Which I'll share a personal experience of me trying an onsen for the first time, which I'm going to put this at the end of the video for a very, very good reason. And I'll insert the onsen story in just a moment. Trying to think. Just go there, just enjoy yourself. And if you can handle the walk, hey, all props to you. You're gonna come back lighter. You're gonna come back way lighter. Let's see. I guess I could talk about clothing. I bought a lot of my like typical clothing that I can rewear and mix and match through Uniqlo, and then they have a sister store called GU. It was a really great store. My first time visiting a Uniqlo, and it was really, really nice. I will say though, if you want clothing that feels more inclusive to your body type, it is harder to find, but not impossible. I found myself shopping at malls, and some indie stores that were selling like used clothes. So thankfully I found clothes that were in my range, because I'm not super duper fat. Like, I'm probably like a medium large in US standards, but over there I would be size F for free size, a size 40 to 46 waist, centimeter waist, which would make sense because I have to account for space of my glutes and my thighs and my stomach, so I have to account for space there. But it wasn't exactly impossible for me to find clothes. It is very possible for you to find clothes. I think Uniqlo was a really good place to go to, and they're always everywhere. They're everywhere. You'll always be able to find clothes at Uniqlo and GU. Trying to think. Go there looking your best. I think if you're going anywhere out the country, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm on vacation, I don't have to care. You should care. I think you should care. I left America not really caring. I came back caring about a lot, like to where it even carried into my job. Like, I just wore scrubs and a t-shirt and walked out with a jacket. I left for Japan. I came back to my job, told my supervisors, yo, I'm feeling like a new hire. I was wearing sweaters with an undershirt underneath and tucking in my undershirt to make like little sleeves. I started wearing like a little cardigan just to jazz it up a little bit. Like I started caring about how I presented myself because they care so much over there. So I think overall it was a really good experience. I walked away feeling like this is something I could incorporate in my own home life. Even when it comes to food, food is food is a big part of what makes you feel good, like physically. So I'm realizing a lot of the preservatives that we have in American foods is a problem because I could go over there and eat anything, but when I come home, I'm sickly. So, also a little personal TMI, I was having my monthly in Japan. I am usually a person where I am in pain, I am suffering, I am miserable. I have to pop painkillers 3 times out of the week if I have like period pain, sometimes 4. When I was in Japan, nothing. I just had my flow, and that was it. That was all I had. Didn't have to pop a painkiller once. And not to get too, visual, but I'm very heavy. Usually, you could kind of see it on me if I'm kind of a little off or if I'm not feeling too good. Nothing. Like nothing. Because of what I was eating there affected my body. And I knew I would be on it while I was there. I knew it. I prepared properly. So I was never in a situation where like, oh no, I'm ill prepared. No. And thankfully we were staying with friends too that were more than accommodating for me. But which made it definitely a better experience. But the other thing I had was fatigue, but no cramping because of the food I ate. Mind you, sensitive stomach, and whatever I eat does affect, which, I mean, that should kind of be like a no-brainer. But what I ate definitely affected how I felt during my monthly. And I feel like I've never had a period like that before, where it was so peaceful. Like, I just felt tired, but that's normal. So I left there feeling like, wow, I feel fantastic. And I'm going to go back home feeling like garbage again because the food there is not going to be like the food here. So I'm now more careful about what I eat, what I consume, what I put in my body, and being careful to order. When I think about food, think about where it's coming from, think about are there pesticides or any chemicals in it? Are there things I can do to kind of like help myself when it comes to picking proper foods? So stuff like that. Because how you eat will affect how you feel. So I will give that piece of advice out there to you. So I think clothing, social, and I think food. I think I've covered all the topics I want to say. That overall, Japan's very clean. I went to a McDonald's for kicks and giggles because why not? It's McDonald's. Sparkling. Everywhere had a bidet, heated seat. You can make water sounds so that way no one has to hear your business. And yes, it is very clean. Very clean. Everywhere is very clean. Super clean. And now I'm going to talk about my experience at an onsen. I went to an onsen twice with actually both of them. They were homies through my husband. So it was my first time going with people that I really didn't know both times. But the second time I went to an onsen, I was a pro. But it was really nice. If you don't know what an onsen is, it is a natural hot spring in Japan. Now, there are different variations where it's just a hot spring and you have hot drinks in the lobby. And there are ones where you have a full-blown restaurant and a massage area. I can say I've been to both types. But my first one, I just went to one where they had hot drinks outside. You walk in, you take off your shoes, you put your shoes in a locker, you take your key with you, and you should have your key, your basic showering gear, and a change of clothes. So then you walk in, you pay, and then you go into the room. It is sectioned off by sex, men on one side, women on the other. It is never co-ed. So I separated from my husband and I went with my female friend. And can I just say, as a foreigner from this perspective, right? I did not realize that we view nudity the way that we do. So with that in mind, I was kind of shell-shocked when, so go to the locker room and you're in your birthday suit. Like, you pick a locker, save your key, put on your wrist, because it's like a little band you keep on your wrist the whole time. You put your stuff in there, you strip, and you take your shower supplies. Full birthday suit. I mean, really put that in there. Full birthday suit. And you're going into the actual, like, sauna shower area. So you strip down to your birthday suit. I'm grabbing all my shower supplies. I'm putting my hair up in a bun. And I'm saying silent prayers because I don't know what to expect. They give you a long, skinny towel. Some of them. Some places give you towels. So I take my long, skinny towel. I cover up when I need to cover up in the front, and I'm walking. And I go, and it's this nice warm area. And it is the hot spring that everyone's sitting in. And there's a shower area where you have a stool, you have a bowl, you have a little shower head that has a push function, and a little faucet to fill up your bowl. I'm cleaning off my seat and I'm cleaning out my bowl. I set down my shower supplies and I start scrubbing and washing. And that's when I really realized that showering and bathing is different in America versus in Japan. Some people think baths are being like getting clean. Like, that's a way of cleaning, when no. You shower to clean, and then you sit in a bath to soak and relax. You do not soak in your own filth. You shower first, then you soak. So I showered. I'm sitting there in my little stool. I'm scrubbing away. Both of them had shower gel, like body wash gel, shampoo and conditioner, basic necessities already at the stations, no matter where you're seated at. You see women or men seated at their stall. I saw women of all ages, younger, older, washing their hair, washing their bodies, fully clean themselves off. Mind you, everybody's naked. Everybody is in their birthday suit. I'm like stressing out because I have never had this experience before. So again, I'm washing, and then I rinse off. My friend comes over to me and she nudges me to get into the actual physical hot spring with her. It is warm, bubbly, natural hot spring water, and it is very lovely. It is very healthy for your skin. You sit there for 15 minutes, at least that's what they recommend, and then you can go. And then if you go into sometimes different parts of the onsen, they have a cold pool, like how track runners and bodybuilders take a dip in cold water baths. They have a full cold water bath in case you want to like dip yourself, because it's very healthy for you apparently. And then they have a whole sauna room. And me and my friend went to the sauna room, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm stretching. I'm doing little stretches to my neck, and then we leave, and then we rinse off. We go back to the locker room. We get dressed, and then in the locker room they have little sinks and mirrors and hair dryers. So if any ladies want to blow dry their hair, brush their teeth, and get ready to go back home, and basically just this is their relaxing time. And that's when I realized, like, these women are, like, some of these girls, because they were young girls, and they're like, some of these girls are just coming off of school, and this is their way to relax, and some of them are here with their friends. And then older women are probably coming off of work, and they just want to relax. And that's when I realized, wow, yeah, we view things differently in America. Wow. So after I was done doing that, I twisted up my hair, and I changed my clothes. I felt good. I felt very soft and clean. And we met back up with my husband and his friend, and me and the friend who took me for my first time. She took me for my first time. We all came out together, all four of us, thankfully. Like, not like together because we were all separate, but we came back in the lobby and met each other, and we each had like a nice little hot drink, and it was really, really relaxing. And the second time I went to an onsen was just as nice, except, I'm a pro this time, and I actually have a buddy to talk to, since the friend that took me this time spoke English, and she spoke to me in English, so we were having pleasant conversation. You have the choice of walking around with a towel or without a towel. I got pretty comfortable and I walked around without a towel. And when I was with the friend previously at the first onsen, I walked around with one. But the second one, I was more comfortable. It was an older crowd. Yeah, I don't really need a towel. I'm kind of chilling. I'm comfortable. And it was nice. And this one that I went to the second time, they had a salt sauna room. So it's like a bunch of like sea salt because we were off of the pier, and we scrubbed ourselves down. We went to Saitama and Yokohama. 12 places total. 12. Count them, 12 places. So that's where we were for the last two. So I think that was Saitama. I think that we went to. But either way, did the salt sauna, scrubbed myself down in salt, felt baby soft smooth. Baby soft. It was immaculate. All that dry skin, gone. Never knew her. Came out, went to a standing shower, rinsed myself off, rinsed all the salt off of me. And then me and the friend went to go get into the massage chair. And then while the guys were still enjoying their time, probably just enjoying the hot spring. Oh, we went to two in the same room. So they had like an indoor one and then they had an outdoor one by the pier. So it was like a nice cool breeze, but it was still kind of warm. Thankfully, it was like 60. It had been fluctuating a little bit in Japan while we were there, but we went out there and we were out by the pier, and the pier had like a black window, so if you leaned too close, someone could see you. But we sat back, and it was hotter water, and it felt really good. And then we got out, got dressed, I twisted up my hair, and we went and enjoyed a restaurant that was in the onsen, and then we went to go get massages in this massage chair, and it was a super cool experience. Yeah. And you're probably thinking, well, some key questions like, well, was it weird for you? At first, yes. At first, yes. The concept of getting in my birthday suit. A whole bunch of strangers. But then too, it's my way of thinking, right? Again, I sat down and thought, wow, all these women just coming off of work, they're coming off of school, they're not worried about me, and they'll probably never see my face again. So it didn't matter. And your second question, you're probably asking, well, did you get stared at? I got a couple looks, and it was the first time where, like, this is not in a weird way or, like anything like that, but it was visually seeing bodies that weren't like mine, if that makes sense, in the most general way I could put it. It was my first time being around bodies that were different from mine, and it was the same with my friend the first time I went to the onsen. I think because she and I had a slight awkward moment where my towel came down and she looked at me, and it was a funny moment. It was just a very funny moment, and if I said anything, it would just got lost in translation anyway, because she didn't speak any English. So I'm sure I was her first foreign friend to have a whole different body type than her. And in a way, it was kind of cool. It was kind of beautiful to see. So it was it was an interesting experience for both of us. Like, we're both each other's, we're like, wow, like, bodies can really, we all have the same, equipment, but it's like, wow, huh. So that's all it really was. Like, it wasn't anything weird. It was just, I think my mentality going in was weird because, again, we view nudity a lot differently in America. And it just made me appreciate a lot more, like, wow, like, definitely when I come to Japan, I'm definitely trying an onsen again. Like, I gotta go again. Like, I love it. It was really cool. It was a really pleasant experience. Everyone there was really nice. They minded their business. No one looked at me because I was a foreigner. Now they looked at me because my body type was different. That was all I could really say. Like, my body type was clearly different. Like, I have a little extra curvature. I got a little extra definition. But no, like, it wasn't anything too crazy. It wasn't anything too bad. It's just my body stood out from theirs, and their body stood out to me. So it wasn't anything weird. It wasn't anything awkward. It was just different. I think that's the best way of putting it. It just wasn't good, wasn't bad, just different. And would I go again? Yes. Because it was really relaxing, and I think if you haven't been to an onsen but you're open to the experience, or if you're at least open to trying a private onsen experience by going to specific hotels. I forget what they're called, but specific hotels that offer the onsen experience if you want to take you and your partner. But you guys can't really go together, but you can do that out, but you can, go to a hotel and try one together. I recommend go to a hotel that offers an onsen, like private onsen, for couples. I recommend that. So that way you can have the idea of an onsen, but you're with someone that you're comfortable with. So that is my onsen story. Because I got a few friends asking me about the onsen story, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a video. I swear, I'm gonna sit down and make a video. But I want to make a video encompassing everything about my Japan trip. If I had to rate my Japan trip 10 out of 10, would I go back again? 1,000%. It was a 10 out of 10 experience. The food was good. The people were amazing. They're really warm. After my first 3 days in a hotel, I was just basically couch teleporting to somebody else's couch. By the second week on a Wednesday, I was starting to feel the itch to go home, and 2 weeks was just good enough. And I visited in total, I think 12 different places. I believe that's 4 different prefectures, maybe 5, maybe. But Japan, I will be happy to visit you again. Japan's a beautiful place. It was amazing seeing all the shrines, all the different people, eating different foods, trying everything, and nearly liking, I think, almost everything. So if you haven't been, you can go. Just go there, be respectful, be kind, be considerate. It doesn't hurt to learn a couple words. Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoy all of the pictures. I don't know, if I do more traveling in the future, would you guys want me to make a blog page and post things, I suppose? Okay, and you're probably thinking, well, what's the cost? The yen is low for now. I do believe the Prime Minister is focusing on something in Japan. Don't quote me, but there is an update coming out later about Japan when it comes to travelers. Yen is low right now, but to counterbalance, they're going to probably put up some taxes for foreigners. But at the time, if you plan it right, we went in December. We booked our trip, I think, sometime around October, September. And for 2 people, it was $2,000. And we went to Japan not knowing what we would get, not knowing anything. Well, my husband knew, but overall, we were just kind of like, it's the first time here. Let's just have fun. We blew 5K. So if that's any thing in your head, okay, how much money did you guys spend? That's 2 straight weeks. Probably was in a hotel, but you also couch hop, which probably saved a lot of money. But we were in touristy areas, and we were also enjoying ourselves with going out for food, and we were paying for friends. So it's that wasn't just money spent on us, that was money spent on friends, for the hospitality that they had. It was really, really nice. But overall, we spent $5,000. Overall, the whole experience. $2,000 to get there, round trip, coming back, $2,000. If you can do the 13-hour travel and the 11 hours back, I say do it. Why not? Just so you can say you've been there. So that is my breakdown, my cost, my experiences, my onsen story, and everywhere I've been to in Japan, as well as some pictures. So I think I covered about everything. If I do some more travels, I think I'll do a sit down and chit chat kind of thing. Vlog chit chat. Or travel chit chat. Yeah. Let's call it travel chit chat. But anyways, my fellow cyber weirdos, thank you so much for chilling with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to aim, if we can get 5 likes on this video, that'd be really cool. And if you guys want me to talk about more in Japan, or places I would travel, places I would see, maybe some words I learned, I don't know. Would you guys want a Japanese segment from me? I don't know. Comment. Engagement. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you savages later. Don't forget to stay hydrated, stay cute, stay awesome, stay artsy, but most of all, y'all better stay savage out there. Alright? Go drink some water, Cottonmouth. Dry mouth haven't. No, I'm kidding.